Welcome to Booze Free with Becca, an old school drinker who woke up in her 50s only to discover there is life after the bottle. I'm your host, Becca Jacobson, and this is one girl's opinion on why we should get sober and how to do it. I offer stories, solutions, options for recovery, and inspiration and motivation for women in the second half of life to put down that bottle and start living. If you're undecided, I'm here to convince you to take the leap, and I'm here to help you along the way. Listen, gals, we've wasted enough time, so join me and my group of amazing women on the thrilling road to recovery. I'm determined to bring as many of you with me on this journey as I can, so let's get to it. Hello, gals, and welcome back. Here we are again, another episode of Booze Free with Becca. And today I've got a story for you that came to me from one of you, a courageous, lovely woman who sent me a story of hers. And I want to encourage the rest of you, I'm not asking for your life story. That would be a bit much, right? I'm asking for a moment in time. A vignette or an episode, something that's happened to you in your life that was caused by alcohol. It doesn't have to be a horror story, just something from your life. So you can send that to me at becca at recoveringwithbecca.com anytime. I'm there. All right. So one of you amazing women sent me a story, and I just want to share this with you because the fact is that this story is so common, and yet the way the story was delivered to me, I could tell that this woman felt not only deep shame, that's also very common, and I could totally relate to that, but I could tell that she thought that she had a unique story. That it was something that basically the sky would fall and the world would come to a complete standstill if anyone were to ever find out about it. Of course, there are people in her world that, we do have a right to privacy and confidentiality and things like that. But I'll talk more about that in a second about, how what it really feels like when our story finally comes out to the people that we think we could never tell. Like for me, it was my employer, But let's get on with this. So this is a story of a woman who's married. She's got 2 children and a career. And she's got, this beautiful life. She loves her children. She's got a good marriage. And she also loves her job, but she's got a problem with alcohol. And in the not too recent past, she went out, and I actually don't know if she'd gone out with friends or what happened, but she ended up blacking out. It's hard to tell a story when you black out, isn't it? Because you don't know what happened. So the part of the story she was able to tell me was when she came out of the blackout. So we know that she went out and she was drinking and skipped to the end. That was my life was like that. Skip to the end because I don't know what happened in the blackout. It's horrible. Anyway, the story ended. She woke up on a couch with no clothes on in a house in an unfamiliar place. And, looked around and realized she didn't know where she was or how she got there or how she got all her clothes off. And can you imagine how awful she felt? We don't really need to know the rest of the story. She got out of there and she went home, and now she has to live with that horrible, horrible story, that horrible feeling of what happened, what did I do, where was I, who was I with, that whole thing is just that. I know that feeling, and you feel like dirt, and you feel like the deepest shame, and you don't know how you'll ever feel good about yourself again. And you have to now live with a lie. You don't even know what the lie is. Did I do something or didn't I do? I don't know what I did. But I'm sure her husband wouldn't be impressed if he knew that whether she did anything or not, the fact that she was just there, right? And of course, he never will know, and he shouldn't. He shouldn't. And I can talk more about that if you like, but I have a very specific reason for saying that. But I want this woman and it's not just this woman who shared the story, and I want her to know that I'm incredibly grateful that she was willing to share this story. But more importantly, this is not a new story. This woman is not alone. That's what I want you to know. You and you and you and you are not alone. This happens to when we black out. It's so, we don't. This is what happens, and it's happened to so many of us. Some of us aren't lucky enough that we just wake up and we're safe. We don't know where we are, but at least we're in one piece, and we haven't been violently attacked, and we're not injured, and we're able to get out of there and go home and carry on. But things happen in blackouts to women that they never talk about. They wake up, they know their body has been used. They are injured, bruised, cut, whatever. And there's nothing they feel like there's nothing they can do about it. Because after all, they put themselves in that position, didn't they? By drinking so much they blacked out. Listen, girls, this is absurd. This is the kind of deep shame that we need to share with others in a safe place. Now, this woman had the courage to send me an email, so I know her email. I will, that's all I know. I don't know her. I'm very grateful to her because the most important thing about her bringing this story up this week for me is that I can share it and let her know she's not alone. Because I know there are ears hearing this right now or who will hear it in the future that are going, oh my God, that happened to me. And I'm saying, me, Becca, it happened to me. Many, many times, especially when I was younger. So, okay, now my dog wants out, so you're going to hear a funny noise. Come here, let's go outside, Winnie. Get out of here. Go on. Go on. Come on. Get out. Okay, got rid of the dog. Thanks for your patience. So, the main message of this and many of my messages is that we are not alone, and that we do not have to live alone in deep shame, feeling like we've done something completely unforgivable and that no one else on earth has ever done. It is not unforgivable. We are not a shameful person because this happened to us. If you're drinking enough to black out, you have a problem. Not unlike diabetes or cancer. That is not your fault. This took me so long to learn, and instead I lived in shame. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. I'm a horrible person. I am not a horrible person. I was a sick person. I am now a recovered person. There's a big difference between being a horrible person and a sick person. And let me tell you that if you were a horrible person who just wanted to go out and do crap like that, you wouldn't feel bad about it. You would just wake up and go, oh, that was fun. Better not let my husband find out. That's not what you're doing. You are sick and you need help. And the help is right there waiting for you. And I share all the time that women come into my world and together we get well. That's how I did it. And that's how others do it. That's how we do it. If you want to go back to one of the oldest programs that we know of in our modern times, we go back to AA, which was founded in the 1930s, and it's founded on the basis of fellowship. It's pretty patriarchal, I get it, but my point here is that how do they get well? By helping each other. So that's why you will find some form of quote unquote fellowship in all recovery programs, because it just works, right? It just works. And yet ironically, most of us don't want anything to do with it. Alcohol, the lies that alcohol tells us is that we shouldn't talk to do not tell anyone whatever you do, just, keep it to yourself. We are encouraged by that crazy voice in our head. Yes, I use the C word, that voice in our head that says, keep it to yourself. You're shameful. Don't tell anyone. That is a lie, gals. Okay, I'm getting pretty worked up here, but I'm going to end this, and I just want you all to know, especially the woman that had the courage to share that with me, that number one, you're not a bad person. Number two, you're not alone. And number three, you can easily stop this cycle and get your life back. You really can. Reach out to me. You already have. I'm talking to everybody. At Becca at recoveringwithbecca.com. I would love to chat with you, any one of you who's feeling this loneliness, this shame, and this isolation. You can join my free Facebook group and just get support there and onward and upward. There's so many avenues, so I won't go through them here. But thank you so much for listening, gals. Thank you for sharing your stories with me, and I'm wide open to hearing from any one of you. I'm so grateful to be in a position where I am now, to be able to be of service to you. Suffering is optional. It really is. Sending you love and rooting for you always. Bye for now. Thanks for listening, gals. And don't forget to join me on Facebook or Instagram. And you can leave me a review, you can follow me, you can subscribe, you can share. And I'd love to hear from you at Becca at recoveringwithbecca.com. Bye for now.